Hello. Right. I got around to finishing Banishers, Ghosts in New Eden, so I thought I'll talk about it. What's on screen is The Witcher 3, and I'm playing through as Henry. Thought it'd be quite gimmicky. He needs a bit of a shave, like when I get to a city. But I thought it'd be quite interesting to play through this time. This will be about the 4th time I've played through it. But yeah, so Banishers. Plus points. I got it for £4.50 on CD keys, which is probably like about $6 or $7. So it can't really grumble at that. It killed 24 hours of playtime, which is great for that kind of money. Can't grumble at that. The engine is Unreal 5. It ran unbelievably. It ran really, really smooth. No crashes, no glitches. Obviously, there's been a year's worth of patches because I'm late to the party with it. But it ran really, really good. Really smooth. Really shocked at it. Graphics-wise, it's as good as it can be for that point in period and time and location, because I think it's like New England location, so there's not much you can do with it. Some of the below ground stuff is a bit more fantasy like or supernatural or weirdness, and there is a void that you can go into as well. But above ground, it's very much kind of landscapes and New England looking territory. It's fine, but after a while it does get a bit samey. But again, there's not much you can do with that because of where it's set, and it's how it is. It's meant to be set like an historical period drama as such, with supernatural stuff to it. And voice acting is excellent. The scripting is really, really well delivered and written as well. We're talking like kind of, sometimes it's up to the levels of like Witcher 3 and stuff. So yeah, no problem there. Main characters, they're good, very, very good. Prefer more so the guy, but I can't really go into it without spoiling certain things. But yeah, it's really well written and acted out for the dialogue side of things anyway. Story is good, it's interesting, and you do want to see how it pans out, as it were, and how it all finishes. Probably where the parallels kind of like with the Witcher is the Witcher 3 wasn't so much the wild hunt at the end that it was the main thing. That wasn't the thing that you took from the game and you remembered. It was all the side quests and everything that led up to that point, because they were so good and so well written. That's kind of like what Banishers is like. The main story, it's good, you're interested, you want to see how it goes, but it's the stuff that leads up to it that you're more invested in, and it's more you going around figuring out who killed who, or who did what to who and why, and who's guilty and who needs punished and things. And those are the interesting things which kind of dragged me through the story more than the main story itself, which is kind of like the Witcher 3. It's all the other stuff in the middle rather than the main story. Now, as for combat, again, another parallel with The Witcher 3 is that Witcher 3 is a masterclass in everything apart from the combat. The combat is good and sometimes very good, but it's not the thing that you bring away from the game. It's serviceable. It's everything else. It's the characters, the dialogue, the scenery, the interactions, the quests. It's all that is just a masterclass that they did there, and the combat is just, it's serviceable. And that's kind of the same with Banishers. The combat is fine. Once you get to the halfway point, it's a bit too easy. So if you want to play through the game and just kind of A to B it because you want to move on to a different game, then I would suggest just play it on normal. If you want more challenge, obviously boost on the difficulty. But yeah, it's fine. Apart from that, game length, I said did 24 hours, and I would say probably the best way to play is to play the game as though you're going A to B. I just want to have a look on the side there. Yeah, it's not bad mod, that one. I think they did a pretty good job. Anyway, so yeah, I'll play it more so on A to B, just because the things. Oh, it's a big close up his face there. Because the things that they've put in there to entice you to go back and to go and collect, they're not really worth it, and you don't really need them. And also the traversal about how you backtrack is a bit of a pain, and it's not really worth it. I did a couple, and after them I was just like, not a chance in hell am I going to do this. Unless you fall in love with that game, I really wouldn't bother. I would just basically go through the game and say like as though it's a linear game, and just do what you do as you come across it, and that's it. The stories, the choices that you make in the game are really good, because they do have an impact on how the game progresses and who ends up at certain places and certain things, and how the ending is and everything. So it is the choices that you make do stick with you, which is really good. But apart from that, the one thing which I will probably bring up more so because people always seem to be talking about it these days, and if you're as old as I am, you can notice it probably more as well. There is, I mean, it's a word that doesn't mean it, but I mean, I'll say it because people obviously understand it, is there is some wokeness in the game. It's nothing terrible, but it did make me roll my eyes a few times. Now, when it comes to a fantasy story, do whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fantasy. You can be as camp or crazy or do whatever you want, and then people either like it or they don't like it. But when you're setting something either in a historical time or historical setting or a period drama or such, you kind of need to keep into mind how people did behave and how people were back then. Now, because of this, in the story, there is a few people who seem to like their own sex, which is a bit of a strange thing, where that was very much either hidden or shunned, and to have it so prevalent in this game, it does kind of stand out, where it seems to be like modern day writing in an older setting. And the other thing would be that I don't think any of the men in the game come off well. I think they either come off as cowards, traitors, backstabbers, wife beaters, religious nuts. I think there's only the main guy that actually get a little bit of praise. Everybody else doesn't come off very well at all. Whereas the flip side to that is all the women come off as either strong, getting revenge, or you should feel sorry for them. And sometimes a little bit here and there, it's not too bad, but it's quite noticeable. And I was just like, at times it feels as though whoever's written it was maybe some guy didn't turn up to the prom dance and they've been holding a grudge for a while. But like I say, it wouldn't put me off playing through it again if I decided to go through it again one day. It wouldn't put me off, and even if I knew that before I bought it, it still wouldn't put me off either. Just gonna look down here. I don't want to go too far because that werewolf's gonna attack me. But so, as I say, I wouldn't want it to put anybody off. It's just and make people aware that there is, say, modern day writing put into an old setting and an old time point in history, which makes it stand out more than it would in, say, like a story set in today's standards and today's ways. But yeah, like I say, 7.5 for myself. But I can easily see where some people might score a little bit lower and some people might score a little bit higher. But I would be interested to see if they did do another one. Now, I don't know. I don't think it's sold particularly well. But if they did do another one, I would be interested to see. I'd be quite interested to see how that one goes, and a possible purchase as well. Apart from that, I ended up getting another game, which is trying to remember it now. Revenge of the Savage Planet. This one was because I'm looking for games for myself to play with my son, and we've been through pretty much every Lego and Robloxy, Minecrafty kind of thing there is, and we've burnt them all out. So that again turned up on CD keys really, really cheap. I ended up getting that one. It's a cross between No Man's Sky and Roblox. So if you're after something to keep your kids quiet, because you can do 2-player co-op split screen as well, which is really handy. It looks nice. It's quirky. It's funny. There's nothing like kind of malicious or bad in it at all. It's yeah, it's a good bit of fun if you want something to play with your youngster, or to give to your youngsters to play, and obviously get them to be quiet for a while. But I like to have games that I can actually sit down and have like a bit of bonding time, rather than just give them something, say, here, play this. I like it something we can actually play together. Because I grew up with, well, my earliest gaming would be like the Atari's 3000 or 2000, wherever it was. One of my relatives got hold of one when they first came out. But my first gaming as such really was the ZX Spectrum 48K. Yep, I'm that old. And then obviously onto all the consoles and everything else after that. But I always like it if you can actually get something where you can actually sit down and spend time. You know, it's probably a bit harder now, because some of the parents tend to just chuck the machines at the kids and say, here, go, be quiet. But I like to actually, if I can, play games with each other, so we can interact and talk about certain things and that as well. Because bonding time these days compared to how it used to be is very, very different. So I still like to remain kind of still in the picture by being involved and still taking part in these games. But it's actually quite hard to find two-player split screens, because obviously everything moved to online. They want you to do all the whole online thing, so it can be quite hard to find split screen games that you can actually play, and this has been one of the better ones. So yeah, if you're after something like that, it's quirky, it's fun, it's nothing too crazy, you know, like with the buttons and stuff. It's quite simple. Yeah, I do recommend Revenge of the Savage Planet. As for that, I actually think Witcher 3 is probably going to be the game that I'll be playing for the rest of the year. There's nothing on the radar now. Everything seems to be out that was going to come out. It's would entice me to buy it anyway. There's Outer Worlds 2, but it's getting so many conflicting reports about it. And there's been times I've had it in the shopping basket and I've been like, I don't know. Where some people are just saying it's better than the first one in every way, but the first one wasn't great for me anyway. And then some people are just saying it's just trashy. And then I don't know. The problem is when you've got something like Witcher 3 and other such games, it's hard to play something because you've always got that to compare it to. It's like, it's good, I enjoy it, but I could be playing that and I enjoy that more. And so I'm just going to wait till next year and see, because I believe the game has flopped, unfortunately for the studio, so it will be probably dirt cheap early next year. So I'll probably wait till next year when it becomes cheap, and I'll give it a go then. But until then, I've got Witcher 3, and then obviously the 2 DLCs as well, which will take up a lot of time. So I'll probably play through those with the mods and stuff and get my enjoyment yet again out of that one. And then I think we have Witcher 4 hopefully next year, but then we also have GTA 6 as well. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to this and go and get Henry a shave. Apart from that, I'm actually quite surprised I haven't been back on to talk about a new driver. It's been a few weeks now since the last driver came out for NVIDIA. But again, there's been no big game releases, because sometimes obviously they release game-ready drivers, so it's probably one of the reasons for that is because there's been nothing to really tie that in with it and such. But anyway, off to go and kill some monsters and see what this werewolf's up to. Bye.